Hello everyone, Racing to Glory here, and welcome back to another part of my F1 23 My Team Career Mode. If you do remember, last time out we went to Monza, and we finally secured a decent result there. After qualifying, we couldn't find a better time on our second run, but is still our first run was enough for P4 in the race, and we made a whole host of double overtakes. A couple highlights here: double overtake for the lead on Russell and Sainz on lap 2. Russell tried to fight us around the outside, but our medium's giving us the better traction. And lap 8, contact between Leclerc and Verstappen into turn 1. Leclerc got a 5-second penalty. There was a virtual safety car, and both had to pit, and we took the checkered flag in the end for P2 after an insane defensive drive in those last bits, and with hard tyres really helping us. And let's hope we can replicate something along the lines for that for today. But first things first, let's check out the standings of how everyone else did. We're level on points with Fernando Alonso in the drivers' standings, and a mere 1 point behind Carlos Sainz in the constructors. Both of those two not really on form as much lately. And Felipe Drugovich did really well in qualifying, to be fair to him, but just didn't have the pace in the race, it didn't seem. He got into Q2, but got out in Q2, but which I thought was really positive, but no pace for him in the race. 75 rated, but we probably will be thinking about a new driver for Season 2. And will be up to you guys who that driver will be. I've got a couple drivers on my radar, thinking about who I might be picking, but that's going to be for you guys to decide. I'm going to pick about 3 or 4, and you guys can pick which one you'd like out of all of those. Now here we have an activity department event. We can get some stuff off the ECU. And if you do remember last time, our front downforce upgrade failed, so we will repurchase that now. Hopefully that will come in time for Qatar. We skipped some time for the season break, a second season break this season. And I was thinking about maybe buying a new facility, try and get it in before the summer, before the break, and get it in before Qatar. But I feel like we're just going to be saving up for a new driver and then spend that money in season 2. Guys, and I just have to, before we go on a bit any further, if you are liking these videos, do make sure to like and subscribe. It does help out so much, and I would really, really appreciate it. And see, even our team wants you to subscribe. Look, green. Come on, lads. It's the button down below. I know you want to press it. Just give it a little click. Be mostly appreciated. Thank you so much. But now, as we're advancing, look, more greens. You should definitely... Okay, I'll stop now. But yeah, please do subscribe. It helps out so much. Still can't afford our heave dampers. The tyre wear upgrade. Hopefully, though, we'll get it on before next race after Qatar. I believe it's Mexico. So coming towards the back end of the season then. The last final 5 races. It's going to be very interesting, but now finally we can afford those heave dampers, which will come in time, guaranteed for Mexico, and our chassis will not be as bad as it's been pretty much all season, hopefully anyway. But if you do remember also last time, from now on we're going to actually save up regular R&D, because there is going to be a regulation change. We don't know which departments it will be. We might find out today, but probably Mexico, I think, is the usual place where we find out. So we'll see. As you saw there, I could have got more off the ECU or 1,000 R&D points, and obviously you can take the R&D points way better. And now let's head to the race weekend for the Qatar Grand Prix, a sprint weekend, remember. So extra content for you guys. And now we head into practice, and we'll check out the R&D chart. Ferrari, now the best team on the grid. I think that's the first time Red Bull haven't been the best team, or maybe second time, I'm not sure. But Red Bull down in second, Mercedes in third, McLaren in fourth. It's also tight up at the top, and Haas with a big upgrade to catch up to us in the R&D. So maybe a bit more competition in the midfield then for us. We're not in no man's land anymore. Aston Martin, more the team in no man's land. But now let's head to qualifying. It's going to be very interesting. First lap then in Q1, a bit shaky there at the rear end, but up to the line it's going to be a 1:23.6, which puts us P7, which isn't bad for our first run. Haven't been in Qatar obviously for a long time, but second run we find so much time, and we go up to the line. 1.1 seconds gained from P11. We're going to go up into P2, 2/10 of Hamilton, and we finished the session in P3. Lewis Hamilton topping the session. Don't think he even needed to go out for that second run. And is Djokovic through? No, he's not.
Here we go again.
Great. So Djokovic is not through to the second part of qualifying, and Esteban Ocon probably the shock of this session. But Alpine really have been slipping in that R&D chart recently. As we go for our first lap in Q3, 7th, a 1:22.9, a bit quicker, but still a bit slow as our second lap then in Q2. Both of these are on used sets of tyres. We used 2 new sets in Q1. We've gone purple in the first sector, but we're only a 10th up. So a bit worrying then, as we lose more time through the second sector. Didn't do that well, particularly on the exit of that sort of Sector 1 Bahrain sort of bit, but we're barely marginally up, and this is the lap that's going to count. But somehow on the exit we find about a 10th, and is that going to be enough to elevate us from P10, which we are at the moment, right on the cusp? Others haven't gone out for a second lap yet. We're going to go up to the line, 3/10 gain. The last sector was magic. And we're going to go up into from P10 to P6. But will that be enough? Yes, it will. Just P9 for us. Fernando Alonso in P10. Pierre Gasly 11th, out of qualifying. Both Alpines not making it through to Q3. And Lance Stroll once again disappointing in the Aston Martin. But Mercedes are looking quite strong around here. Just like in real life in qualifying. But we'll see in the race if they do well. As we go for our one and only lap in Q3, actually. We're not going to go for 2 more laps. We can't go for 2 laps. We haven't got the tyres to go for 2 laps. So this lap is going to really need to count. Best as we're going to have to go as fast as we possibly can, which we are doing at the moment. But you can tell it's not to the level that really we should be expecting from a car that got a podium in Monza. It's just a bit sluggish, I want to say. Not ideal at all. It's all right. But on the exit of this corner, I think that was the best we've taken that corner, to be honest. As we go through this flat out section, my favourite part of the track. Just flat out the whole time. A little lift off into the third zone. Take way too much curb. Way too much curb there. And that will hamper our lap time, I don't doubt. As around the final corner we go up to the line. It's going to be a 1:21, a 1:22 even, a 1:22.3, P6 for us, not our best lap. It must be said. We could have done a lot better that lap, I reckon. And it's Charles Leclerc that takes pole position ahead of Lewis Hamilton. So a bit of a surprise there then. George Russell down in 8th. All of my talk about Mercedes, and it's Ferrari who do the best. Now let's head to the race. Sprint, sorry, not race, but so some encouraging works from Mark ahead of the sprint. Finally, took him long enough, but we're going to be going on the softs for the sprint then as we start the formation lap. The majority of others also on the soft compounded tyre, so that's going to be very interesting to see how they perform. I believe the softs are set to only last the duration of the sprint, so that's going to be very, very interesting heading towards the end of the race. Lando Norris, though, on the medium tyres. Could he be maybe the surprise package in today's race as we line up to the grid? Point one, our best, the best parking I think possible. I don't know if you can get a 0.0. Correct me with the comments if you can get a 0.0 and I'm just being like really, really stupid. Anyway, 5 red lights. Here we go for the Qatar sprint. Here in Season 1, it's lights out and away we go. And we get a best start on Fernando Alonso into Turn 1. Lando Norris ahead, not getting the best of starts on the mediums. It's 3 wide up ahead as Charles Leclerc is in the lead as we go try and go round the outside of Lando Norris. Verstappen a bit caught up, as is Lewis Hamilton. We could sweep past both of them as Sainz makes it a 1-2 for the Ferrari garage. And we sneak past Lewis up into P3.
Perfect.
An insane start from us from P7. And now lap 2, both of them want to come back at us down the inside. We're going to try and hold it round the outside. Somehow we do, but they have much better traction, much better drag on the straights, and Verstappen's going to power past us, as is Lewis Hamilton, and so is Lando Norris, and maybe even Fernando Alonso. We're going to try and go round the outside of both of them and back up into P5, but we can't get P3. They've both overtaken us.
Emotional, damn it!
They were just held up there and they just blocked me. Nothing much I could do. But now, end of lap 3, we have still managed to hold on to that DRS. So we still do have that extra pace on the straights, which is very necessary. As into turn 1 we go. Lando Norris beginning to go think about the move on Max Verstappen as Fernando Alonso and Russell duel it behind and we go deep. We have lost the 1 second now to Lando Norris, and I'm sure we will lose a lot more. Well, we're definitely going to lose a lot more because for the second time this season, the second time in about 4 races, the lean mode has come on.
Oh, Lord. Again. Nothing new, nothing changed, same old.
We were behind Alonso at the detection, so we will get DRS. But they're going to overtake us so much. We have no power on the straights. Here, lead mode for us. Look, this happened to us at Silverstone. Nothing we can do about it. 3 cars overtake us, both Mercedes and an Aston Martin. We get past the Aston Martin, but can we get past the Mercedes? I don't think we can. I think they're gone. I can't see us re-overtaking anyone. Again, George Russell and Lewis Hamilton, down the road they go. Goodbye, lads. Hopefully we can hold on to the DRS, though. That still would be quite nice. But they're long gone now, I believe. As now lap 5, going on to lap 6, Oscar Piastri overtaking us and up into P7. But can we come back at him? He doesn't get the best of exits, but no. We're now down into P8, it seems. And just not getting the kind of support we want from our team. The power just not there. We are having so much tyre as Alonso spins us. Perez, spins us. As we go off the track, going pell-mell everyone this time as we start the final lap of this race. Perez going for the move. Are we going to go outside the points here? This race, no, we do keep the position. Not quite yet anyway. We do keep the position on Sergio Perez. And still remain in that 1 point position, but we still have gone backwards this sprint, which is a shame despite the amazing start. And that is where we finish P8 in our sprint little adventure here in Qatar. Could have been better, could have been worse, but I'm a bit draggy on the straights, I must say. Carlos Sainz then wins the race for Ferrari ahead of Charles Leclerc, who started on pole position. So very interesting there then. Felipe Drugovich, P21 to P21. It was only a sprint, but I was hoping he might be able to make up some positions. But now let's head to the race. Well then, into the race we go. The strategy looks like it should be on the soft tyres, but soft hards or soft mediums, but once again medium hard for us. The tyre wear without that new upgrade, which failed, still a bit too high for us to bear. But as now we start the formation lap, start looking at what everyone else tyres on. The majority on the softs, our soft tyres were about 50% worn. 50% worn there, so in the sprint. So, well, their tyres are going to be absolutely cooking then in these first laps, after about 7 laps of the race. So we line up to the grid then. A couple on the hards though. The Lewis Hamilton ahead of us. I think Ferrari's also on the hards. Lando Norris once again choosing the medium tyre, which worked out well for him, P3 in the sprint. So here we go then, 5 red lights for the main race here in Qatar. It's lights out and away we go finally. We were held for quite a long time there. Russell, not the best start. Oscar Piastri going for the move on him. Can we try and go for the move on him as well? Russell tries to sneak back down the inside of us. Not having any of that. We're going to overtake Piastri as well as we sort of get a bit boxed in ahead behind Hamilton and Verstappen. Can we get Verstappen on exit here? The medium tyres compared to his hards. Yes, we can. But he comes back at us. Verstappen comes back at us. So can we try and go round the outside of the Red Bull? Yes, again we can. And up into P5. As Carlos Sainz, a bit struggling there. Initially on those hards, I think Sainz on the hards as well. I'm not sure though. But anyway, you can just close up to them these first opening laps, keeping that DRS zone. Norris eager to go back into P2, and we're eager to go into P4. We still want that podium. We still do want that podium. here this race. We want back-to-back podiums. That would mean so much for us, and we are currently on track to do so if we can just get past Lando Norris up ahead as lap 2. DRS enabled. We are so slow on these straights. We lost about 4/10 to Norris on that straight alone, and Hamilton going for the move on us, and he's overtaken us. Can we try and get a switch back though? I thought about a dive around the outside, but no, not quite. But now we'll just hopefully we'll just be able to stick in his DRS, and maybe he could drag us along towards Lando Norris. He isn't a quicker car than the McLaren, but the Ferraris do have the best car this on paper. And we have just kept in his DRS zone, and I'm going to want to go for the move before we lose him round the outside of the 7-time world champion. He barges us a bit. We might have squeezed him a bit too much to the inside. But up into P4 again. And it's a good job we do go up into P4, because during this lap, as you're about to find out, travesty strikes for our car for the third time in about 5 races. For the second time in this weekend, we get a notification on our MFD that we have lean mode activated once again, as you are about to see. Yeah, there you go. There's the symbol, lean mode.
You're joking. Not another one? Oh, for God's sake, I can't stand this.
And it's a good job we overtook Hamilton, because now we've got that little bit of a gap, about 4/10 it was, that we can just try and keep on the 7-time world champion, but he's going to go right past us. Here, look at how little power we've got round the outside. Can we try and defend at the inside? I'm still going to try. Go drifting a bit there, but no, we can't defend against him. And the team better repair this quickly. Like, they did repair it quickly in the sprint, to be fair, but it shouldn't really have happened. And hopefully, yes, it does go back to standard, which is okay. All okay then, team, but not really, because we've lost a position to Lewis Hamilton now, and that could cost us. As lap 9, Alonso going for the move. He's had enough of staying behind us. We've barely been sticking in Hamilton's DRS range. As we go for a little switchback, can we just squeeze through? Yes, we can. Thank you very much, Fernando Alonso. He barely went deep that. And we make an insane switchback move on the inside up into P4, re-overtaking him. And Lewis Hamilton's still within that DRS just. But how long will that be for? Because Hamilton on those hard tyres now becoming the better race tyre. But he decides to pit along with us on lap 9. So that's going to be very interesting what tyre he's going to. Because his hards only lasted 9 laps. Our tyres about 40% worn, about to fall off. So maybe he had to be just a bit more tyre wear than us. But we'll see as we come into the pit lane. Going onto the hard tyres. Good stop from the team. Thank you. And Lewis Hamilton still ahead of us. Fernando Alonso still behind us. As we come out the pit lane then, and we are most unfortunately out of the DRS range of Lewis Hamilton, but as is Fernando Alonso out of the DRS range of us. We're 1.6 seconds behind Hamilton. Alonso 2 seconds behind us. And hopefully with these hard tyres they won't catch up to us anytime soon. But as you can see, these are the hard tyres, so they will take a bit of time to heat up. So not ideal, but definitely better than normal circumstances where they had DRS and we didn't. And we managed to survive all the way until lap 14, where a driver error brings them back into DRS range. But a decent stint from us so far. Hopefully we can hang on to this P5. There's a yellow flag behind us. Is it now Aston Martin going slowly? Fernando Alonso, he's retiring from the race. He's pulling over. George Russell stuck behind us. Fernando Alonso held up Oscar Piastri. It's a shame Fernando Alonso wasn't ahead of Russell. He could have held him up as well, and we'd had an even larger gap. But as it is, yep, Fernando Alonso out of the race due to an engine failure of some sort. As we go off the track, Russell thinks about the move round the outside, not having any of that. Although we did go off the track, to be fair. But Russell, I'm sure, will get his chance here into turn whatever this is. I don't know. But anyway, going through these corners, we do a defensive drive. But Russell goes for a switchback on us. Almost pulled an insane move off at the flat out section. As going on to the next lap, we lift off a bit just to let Russell just to get that DRS and let Russell overtake, which we do get that DRS, and we will re-overtake Russell on this straight, surely.
Got him! Got him!
Gaining. Gonna go for the move on the inside, up into P5 again. So, that great move for us. And, well, it's just staying ahead, just defending, just like in the sprint. Our power, we've got a very high downforce setup. So in the corners we are quick, but in the straights we're just lacking. As you can see, the curve made us go wide. As Sergio Perez out of absolutely nowhere has gone and overtaken us. Fair enough, mate, but once again he's overtaken us a bit early. Because we've got that DRS. Oh, but Russell, is that Russell? Yeah, that's Russell wants to overtake us as well. But having none of that, as we're going to, once again, with DRS, gain on Perez. As Russell thinks about the move. That's very brave. We're going to go to the outside this time and re-overtake him for P5. The AI just never learn here around Qatar. But, guys, I think our chances of a podium have been dashed here. Because Hamilton 13 seconds ahead of us, and now Perez overtaking us for P5. But we're going to go... Okay, I mean, I didn't expect to go right back round the outside. I mean, what a move. I was just braking later to try and not crash into the back of Perez. But, okay, I'm not going to complain. We keep the P5. 2 more laps. Can we hold on to this vital position, vital points? But we take way too much cut there. And Perez, this time I think he's got us. Pardon, excuse me. Throat a bit dry. But Perez going for the move. Russell also going for the move. We can defend from him. But Sergio Perez has overtaken us up into P5. And we're now in P6. And the fuel is beginning to become an issue. We're at 0.3. We're going to have to start lifting and coasting to try and keep the fuel positive. As Russell goes for the move down the inside, we're going to have to defend into that one. And now you'll see here, we're just lifting here, just slowly applying the throttle. And Russell going for the move on the outside. We're going to defend to the inside. No way he holds it round the outside, to be fair. This is turning into a mega scrap between us and George Russell. We're going to try and hold it round the outside. And we do hold it round the outside, but is Russell still there? He was, and so I had to just lose my line there. But a great scrap with George, to be fair, and tyre wear begins to kick in, as you can see, 60%. I wonder what Sergio Perez's tyres are like. I don't know what lap he put them on, but whatever he did really well on them, and is still doing quite well on them. 3 seconds is the gap, but this is probably because we're having such a massive scrap with George Russell behind. As we have a snap of oversteer there, and Russell, that could invite, no, not Russell anymore, Oscar Piastri for the move, and we can't hold it around the outside. We just don't have the tyres to. Piastri, I believe, still does. I think he came in later, as we once again exceed the track limits. We should have so many 3-second penalties from this, but either way, we're going to come home in a very valiant P7, I believe, unless Stroll overtakes us. No, which he does not. P7 for us, P6 for Piastri. Shame we couldn't keep on to that. But it is P7 for us. 6 valuable points. So forced us to the line there, to be fair. Fair play to him. But it was just a bit too... but not close enough. P1 for Charles Leclerc, then off the front row. They couldn't hold on at all for that. The man on pole could not hold on to the win, it seems. And in the drivers' standings now, we're in P8 ahead of Fernando Alonso, but Carlos Sainz extends the gap. But so it looks like P8 for us, P6 in the standings of the constructors. Still only the person in our team who scored, Dragovic, not doing well, down in P22. Finished P21 ahead of Sargent. It seems to be a theme, and obviously ahead of Daniel Ricciardo. Oh wait, he finished ahead of Ricciardo as well. Fair enough, but obviously ahead of Fernando Alonso. But that's how the race ends then. P7 for us, 6 points, really valuable in the drivers, not so much in the constructors. We're a bit of a no man's land there. But guys, if you have enjoyed this video, do make sure to like and subscribe. It does help out so much, and I'll see you guys next time for the Mexican Grand Prix, one of my favourite circuits with the long straights, but maybe not in the corners. I'll see you guys then. Goodbye.